Hey everybody, welcome or welcome back. My name is Monique and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. I want to do that through consistency and discipline. Today is Friday, August the 9th. I got paid today. Just got paid Friday night. and I am here to do a weekly budget with me. So I'd like to thank anybody who's liked or commented on any of my videos, and especially for those that have subscribed to my channel. I truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I understand, recognize, and appreciate the community as a whole. So if you're rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you haven't made up your mind yet, sit with me for a spell. At the end of this video, if it's content you find valuable or enjoyable, please feel free to subscribe. It's myself and Sweets, and we're married with a whole bunch of kids. We want to make sure that the decisions we're making now won't negatively impact our kids in the future. So we are combining our future, our family, and our finances. I'm going to rush through this video. Monique rushing through a video. You can't believe it, right? Yeah, this is the third time I've made this. I don't know what was going on, and I think it's some of the glare from this Baddies and Budgets binder that I have and the actual dashboards that I'm using, or dividers I'm using. But at the end of the day, I'm using the Baddies and Budgets. Let me say that. I'm using the Baddies and Budgets binder as the shell. And then I'm incorporating other Etsy templates that I'm finding until I can get to a point where I build the binder to look the way that I want it to look. So we are here to do the 8/9 through 8/15 as the week that we want to take care of. I did get paid today, so I will show you just very quickly how I get to these numbers that you see here. So let me move over some of this stuff so that I can pull my things out and have that stuff available. I hope y'all I think if y'all would have seen my last video and this one, you have an intro and an outro now. That's all Sweets, y'all. Monique is not gifted in that at all. So I think when I asked for his support and his help around the marriage and money, the first 90 days video that I wanted to make, at that point, he was all in. So he is helping to do a lot of things that feel very natural to him and that are not natural to me, right? Right? So he's taking care of that. So anyway, I have a monthly planner, and I go from this monthly planner not to this weekly one that we're going to talk about in a moment. This weekly one is done so that when we have our couples conversation about finance on Sundays, it has a weekly view available, because that makes the most sense to Sweets. He has a variable income, but he makes multiple deposits throughout the course of a week. So him looking at things on a 2-week cycle to match up with when I get paid, because I get paid bi-weekly. Him looking at things at a 2-week level was pretty broad when you consider all of the deposits and the moving things that he has going on. So for the sake of our conversations with him, I moved to a weekly budget for that. But when I move from my monthly one that I have, I move here and I go to my digital binder. And in my digital binder, I have, recognize my fingerprint so I can show them what I got. I have here how I document it. I cover the whole bi-weekly paycheck cycle. So this is going to say August the 9th through the 22nd. And here I denote where the money is going to go. So my bills account, I always get $1,500 in that one that I budget. Variable, I do $800 that I budget. On my last week's budget check-in, I have $53 as rollover, but I'm going to document here $50. That $50 rollover is in my bills account. So that's why those two colors are the same. Both of those are all monies that are in the same account. Likewise, I did get a mini bonus, and I'm going to account for $400 of that. And so that is in my variable expense account. So that $800 I normally have plus this $400 are in that account. That's why those are one color. Now, this might look familiar to you guys for some content creators. I know one in particular, Beautiful Budgets, BEAUTEFUL, if you want to check her out. If you are subscribed to me at all, you're probably subscribed to her already, but she color codes all of her amounts so they kind of match up with where she knows that money is coming from. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. So I know that I have $1,550 to work with in one account, $1,200 to work with in the other. And then I look at my categories on this particular form, and the way that it matches out, I highlight the total amount that are going to come out of each of those bank accounts. So you'll notice all of my variable expenses, my savings, and my sinking fund are all coming out of that variable expense account, and that my bills and my debt are all coming out of my bills account. And that's how I keep track of what I am spending and where I should expect to see those debits or those subtractions, so that I'll know that the money is aligning the way that I think. And that also helps to keep me from ending up in a negative in an account because I didn't realize this was getting pulled from this account and I didn't have enough money in that account, etc. So that keeps me from doing that. So I move from my monthly view to my digital paycheck view, and then I move to the weekly view for 4-hour couples conversations. So that's where we are today. Now, I've made this video 3 times because it keeps fading or wanting to, what do you call it? Go fuzzy on me. So hopefully things will work out today for this one on number 3. All right. So I just talked about all of those amounts and we have those documented here. That total is $2,750. When you look at the bills amount, you'll notice a few things. Number one, you got a couple of things that show subs as the actual and CC as the amount. These are subscriptions. They come out or paid out of my Ally credit card, and then I unstuff the cash from the subscriptions sinking fund when it comes time, once that money actually comes out of the or post against the credit card. So because of that, and because this money is already in my subscriptions sinking fund, I don't want to count it here as well because that will be double dinging myself. So that's why you have the CC under the budget and subs for the actual. Next, for trash, you'll notice that I have $57 here for the quarter, and I've already paid it. So that's why I have that amount listed as an actual. It is not an auto draft. I actually have to manually pay it. So that's what I did. And then we have Xerxes groom, and I'm hoping that grooming is going to work out, y'all, because his groomer quit. So we had to bring him back today. So I think he's going to have another groomer. Hopefully. I don't know what happened there. So tithes, car insurance, and pet insurance are automatically taken out of the account before I even put these amounts here. So I documented them here to let you know I do have car insurance and I do pay tithes. But I just don't have those amounts disclosed. So when you look at the totals, my bills account is $476. Next, you have savings. So with my savings, I have $195 that's going into the sinking funds. That's $80 for property insurance, $80 for subscriptions, and then $35 I owed Corinne's senior trip envelope. So I'm putting that money back. I'm doing $30 in my family binder, $30 in my personal binder, $60 for my mini Mondays, and then savings challenge here, I've got $147. So I will show you guys really quickly, and I'm going to come out. So hopefully that will help with the with it getting fuzzy. We shall see. So I go through my savings challenge and I just look at how much I want to contribute, and that's what I do for the budgeting. So here for this self-care one, I want to get up to this $100 mark. So that means I need to add 13 and 13. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's a 5 and 20. So that equals $51 so far. Next, for my home projects, I have a $400 savings challenge that I'm doing. All of the numbers that I've already marked off total $215. I need another $49. That's what I documented here on a sticky. I need another $49 in order to get to that $215 so I can scratch off another number. So we're going to add $49 here. And I apologize if you guys hear some noise in the background. That's Sweets in the kitchen. $10 challenge. I want to give $30 for that. All right. So we mark that down. And then for debt, I have a total of $83 already in here. I want to give another $17 so I can get up to $100 and make another extra debt payment for my city card. So that's how I came up with 147. Okay, that's that 147. All right, so we're gonna go back in now that that part's done. Let's see if we focus in really well. I think we're good. Okay, so maybe we're not. I'm gonna come out a little bit more, y'all. I really don't want to make this video again, but I think you guys can see now. All right, so that's $462 total when you add all of that up. Next, you have expenses, and I'm going to give $110 towards groceries, $30 to gas, $30 to home, $40 to dining, $25 to supplements, $10 to pets, $30 to Monique, $24 Corinne, $24 my bonus kids, baby boy and baby girl, each $10. And then extra, I'm going to give $5. That's going to total $320. And that pretty much is going to be the amount that I will have to contribute every week to variable expenses going forward. All of these amounts will be cash stuffed except for Corinne. She gets her money online. Next, we have debt. So I'm not going to give anything extra right now this week for city card. Remember, we're only doing 8/9 to 8/15. The city card is actually due on the 24th. So that's going to actually be in a completely different paycheck cycle, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not going to give anything right now. But next week, if I have a little bit of extra there and a lot in my rollover before I get paid again, then I will allot some additional monies for that city card. Discover. I'm going to give Sweets $100 on Discover because I had a specific TV that I wanted to get for my room. Y'all, it got to be busy, y'all. I just can't mess with nobody else's TV. But since I had specific things that I wanted to have it around that TV and we were using his card, I said I would contribute to that. So I'm going to give him $100 on that. For Kohl's. Kohl's had a great sale. We went there for Corinne's items for her senior pick. Now I'm making this video on Friday. It'll post on Saturday. Probably when it posts and you see it is when I'll be actually there for her senior portrait sitting. But they also had a sale on Asics sneakers, and those are the only ones that I wear. I got 2 pair for $120. So I'm going to make an extra Kohl's payment of $100. You'll notice here for Discover, Kohl's, and Rooms to Go, which we'll talk about in a moment, you've already got the actual amounts in. That's because I've already made those payments, okay? So for Kohl's, I'm going to go ahead and pay them an extra $100, and that's on top of the $90 that I typically give them on the 19th when I normally pay them. So they will get a total of $190 for the month. Rooms to Go is back in the mix again. Got our first bill. It was $91 and some change, but I did go ahead and make a payment of $100. That is not on an auto draft. And so I wanted to go ahead and take care of it at the time I got paid, because if not, it's possible that I could forget. So I wanted to make sure that that did not happen. Okay. So all of those amounts together equals $300. When you document the total income and then you subtract all of the expenses that I just discussed, you'll notice that I have $1,192 as rollover for the next week, which will be 8/16 to 8/22. All right, I found another meal plan template on Etsy. I'm not excited about it, so we won't talk about it. All right. And next is our cash envelope breakdown. So this breakdown sheet goes from the lowest denomination to the highest, which is different from the Baddies and Budgets form, that I was using, which went from the highest denomination to the lowest. So I want to make sure that I call that out so that as you see these amounts, you're not adding them up in your head and it's like, hey, this is not coming out right. So I've already talked about everywhere that I am giving money, and we're doing some cash stuffing. I do want to say that for my family binder and for personal binder, each of those I'm giving $30, and I'm getting all of that in 5s. If I'm already doing a savings challenge, a Monday mini savings challenge for an envelope, I do not contribute to it when I get paid. Okay, so that I just want to make sure that I document that and let you guys know about that piece. All right. Next, my Monday mini, $60. You'll notice that I don't have ones here. That's because I'm just going to recycle the ones that I already have. So I, go into the envelopes. Hey, here, I might have already got 20 ones in an envelope. I'm just going to replace it with the $20 bill and take those ones out. So that's why you have that $60 there. And I've already talked through all of the savings challenges and those amounts. So when you look at that total, you'll notice that I have a total of $567 as a total here with all of these numbers. And then when you add up all of the cash breakdowns, 17 in ones, 130 in fives, 130 in tens, 240 in 20s, and a 50, all of that adds up to 567 as well. So that is the amount that I will be cash stuffing in my next cash stuffing video. And last but not least, they're starting to stick together. But last but not least, for my weekly check-in, here are all of the amounts for the variable envelopes that I actually unstuff every week. This is what I'm rolling over and what I'm starting with. And then I'll go ahead and start, when I do my cash stuffing, I'll start to add those numbers in as far as the amounts that I'm contributing so that I'm ready for the next cash unstuffing that I have to do. And I actually have one more thing and then I'm done. Spending tracker. So I noticed that the last couple of weeks I've spent money every single day, and that's got to stop. I'm not setting myself up for a specific no spend challenge, but what I am going to do is document when I do have no spends and celebrate those wins. So I started a new week on August the 7th, and that's going to run through August the 13th. And so far, the 7th and the 8th have both been no spend days. Hot dog, I'm on it. Hot diggity dog. All right. I think that is it. Okay, we are good. Thanks everybody for your time. You guys have a good one.